Okay, I want to just point out something about a habeas corpus that I was talking about that I did not talk about in the last couple of videos. Show you the difference. You notice when I was talking about the Delaware, I'm just using Delaware because Delaware specifically was talking about child support, okay, involving child support enforcement in cases. It's keep in mind, civil cases dealing with the straw man. You know how they put the body attachment, create the body attachments to the people. Using like they attach your body to your Sesticate trust, your all caps name, also known as your legal person, your whatever, your legal person, your all caps name. Okay. In civil cases, noticing when they talk about not civil cases, just notice when they talk about in habeas corpuses right here, they always talk about a petition. They refer to you who actually are applying for a petition. I mean, for a writ of habeas corpus. They refer to you as the petitioner. Okay. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna show you this as we see this repeatedly in these codes right here when you're reading this. Let's see. Matter of fact, let's look in application right here. See the party say application for a writ of habeas corpus may be made by the party complaining or anyone for such party setting forth upon oath. Something you gotta notice right here where it says upon oath. Notice your straw man can't make an oath. Only the living man or woman can make an oath. Okay, so I guess I'm making this video really to help y'all understand that when you're dealing with a habeas corpus, you're not dealing with a civil matter. You're dealing with a civil matter, but it's like you're taking you're putting the vessels to the side, and now you're dealing with a living man and woman that's actually moving throughout the case of a habeas corpus, because you're now when you're putting together your complaint, whatever it is, putting together your petition, for the writ of habeas corpus, you got to do it under oath, and only a living man or woman can do that. An entity can't do that. Okay, an entity cannot give an oath. So just like an attorney can't. They don't have first-hand knowledge. They're operating as a legal fiction when they're representing somebody's person. So they can't take off their commercial, their official capacity and enter into this situation as a living man and swear an oath to the testimony, to testify about somebody else's case that they have no first-hand knowledge. Okay, but a living man can only a living man can do that. Where to whom for causes. Let me see. Trying to see. But anyway, throughout this thing, they refer to you as a petitioner. Okay, you're petitioning the court. Okay, I showed you that in the first statement. Well, the first part up here. Say you're petitioning the court. It's a petition. You're using a petition. Here you go, a petitioner right here. Is using this word repeatedly throughout this session. Okay, so you're referred to as a petitioner. Now let's look at what a petitioner is. Okay, I was already playing with this, so let me back it up. Right here, a petitioner is a party who presents a petition to a court. On appeal, a petitioner is usually the party who lost the lower court. Keep in mind, it's two different courts. The lower court most likely is going to be the civil in a civil matter. Say this can be either a plaintiff or defendant. See, in a civil matter, a civil case, a civil court, which is the lower court, you actually using your straw man or either your LLC or whatever type entity it was that you were representing in a civil matter. That's when you were seen as a plaintiff or a defendant, whichever situation you were in. Say if you were child support, they had you as a defendant, which was your straw man. Okay, As you see, straw man is defendant, and they say in criminal cases, a person accused of a crime. Say in civil cases, see, civil cases, a defendant is a person or entity. See, that's either your straw man, your all caps name, or say it's an LLC or a company that you own, that somebody is suing you through your company. Say you got a store, a mom and pop store, and somebody slip and fell in the store, and they're suing your entity. They're suing that entity, the name of your store, in court. And they're suing that entity, you got to show up on behalf to represent that entity. But if they're suing you, specifically they're suing you, they got to sue your straw man. They're suing your straw man. They're going to have your straw man's name written on the petition. I mean, in a civil matter, they're going to have just those things. That's going to be that's the difference between a defendant and an actual respondent. Okay. Let's see, that's being sued by the plaintiff. Okay, so these are civil cases. When you're dealing with civil cases, you're going to have a defendant and a plaintiff. You're going to have a plaintiff and a defendant when you're dealing with civil cases. In certain types of actions, a defendant is called a respondent. It's in certain types of actions, a defendant is called a respondent. Now, click on respondent. The respondent is a party against whom the petition is filed. See, you notice how they're using it interchangeably, but they actually have different meanings. Okay, because it's different settings when they're doing it. A respondent can be either a plaintiff or a defendant from the court below. See what I'm talking about? So it's like when the court below is the civil court. That's when you got the plaintiff and the defendant that's from the lower court. Now, when you take off those. Now, when you're putting aside the straw man, you're putting aside the entity that you're representing in the lower court. The lower court is the civil court. The court below is the civil court. Now you're going into a higher court when you're operating as a petitioner and the respondent, because you're dealing with living men and women. Okay, living men and women. So that helps you understand that when you're dealing with a habeas corpus, you're dealing with a living man and woman now. You're not wearing these straw men. You're not operating as a straw man no more. That's because that's why when you're doing your petition, you have to do it under oath. Okay, so I just wanted to kind of point that out. See right here. Let me keep on reading a little bit more. In the court below, as either party can appeal the decision thereby making themselves the petitioner. See, you're going from making from one of these positions to a petitioner. That's where you're trying to actually you're petitioning. You're actually you're confronting the judge or whoever that officer is as a man or as a woman privately, and you're sending them your petition on a private level. It's only you're sending them your information under oath with your evidence, that's your supporting evidence with your petition. That's exactly what you're doing. You're petitioning them for this habeas corpus. You're trying to get them to do something. And that's another reason why you got to also keep in mind the name of what a habeas corpus actually means. Bring forth the body. It basically is, I'll go back to that in a second. Say, and their anniversary, let's see, and their anniversary to respond. Anniversary to respondent. Let's see. Formerly, in the equity courts of common law, the defendant was always called the respondent. See, petitioner. See, that's formerly. They don't do that no more. In equity courts, equity courts of common law, the defendant was always called a respondent. Now we know that they don't do that no more, because there's a difference between a defendant and a respondent. Because now you see the defendant that's the straw man. A respondent is going to be the living man or woman. Okay. Now let's see. Let me see. So that's why I just wanted to kind of point that out to y'all. The difference between a defendant, a plaintiff versus a plaintiff and defendant versus a petitioner and respondent. Okay, so you're dealing with a living man and woman when you're dealing with a petitioner, as opposed to a petitioner and a respondent, as opposed to all caps name or legal persons with the plaintiff and the defendant. Okay, but that's what I wanted to point out. Let's see, of common law writs used to bring a party before the court or judge. The right of a citizen to obtain a habeas corpus, a writ of habeas corpus, as protection against illegal imprisonment. Okay, just so you understand what this means. Let me see what this actually. So y'all can see. I showed this on a recent video what this actually means. So you know what it means. Let me see. It's a Latin term. There you go. You should have the body, that is, or is it also saying what? That you have the body. Some of them say bring forth the body. We command that you should have the detainee body brought to the court. You know what I'm saying? It's like different people use it different ways to kind of describe it. Show me the body. That you have the body of the detainee brought before the court or tribunal. Okay, in ancient common law writ, issued by a court or judge directing one to who holds another in custody to produce the person before the court. For I ain't no need me clicking all on that, but you see, you get the idea. This is Latin. Y'all know that this is Latin. Everybody already, most of you that actually study this stuff, you know that this Latin. So that's what it means. So straw men are not bodies. You are the body. Your body is the one that's being restrained. Okay, your body is the one that's being restrained. So if you're having a liberty that you're trying to regain your liberty, and so you have something that's restraining your liberty, you have the right to actually petition the judge or whoever this officer is for a writ of habeas corpus. Okay, it's not just for you, it could be for your kid. If you got CPS and took your children and they're doing it unlawfully, they don't have no evidence of whatever it is that they're saying that you did wrong or whatever, they have no evidence, you can petition for a writ of habeas corpus. Baby mama took your child and don't want to turn them over, or vice versa. Baby daddy took your child, don't want to ask your child, and they're restraining that child, the liberty of that child actually having a full relationship with both parents, both mom and dad. I don't like using parents, but those are legal terms. But mother and father, and so you have a right to you need a petition for a writ of habeas corpus. You can be used for somebody in jail that's been held unlawfully. They have no evidence to hold you. They can file for a writ of habeas corpus. So you have a liberty that's being restrained. Let's see, any pretense whatsoever is what they say. A writ of habeas corpus shall be awarded and issued by the superior court, except in cases involving child support enforcement, in which case the writ shall be awarded and issued by the family court. So if you're trying to do this in Delaware, this is Delaware. Okay, if you're in Delaware, you can in family court, you can actually file for a writ of habeas corpus in family court. Okay, and so dealing with child support. Okay, so I'm sure you can do the same thing in any other states, because you do have a liberty that's being restrained. You should be able to take care of your kids the way you want to take care of them, not being bullied into a contract. I'm not going to go off on a rant like I did in the last video. You get the idea. A writ may also be awarded and issued to, let me see, I'm trying to see something else I was looking for. A petition for the issuance of writ of habeas corpus may be reviewed and decided by a judge issuing the order incarcerating the petitioner in the first instance. Okay, but bottom line, you already know, I showed y'all in the application, you got to do it under oath, and you also have to have your evidence attached to it. Let me see, award service under oath. His or her knowledge. Let's see, setting forth under oath, upon oath, where and by whom and for what cause, to the best of his or her knowledge, such party is imprisoned or restrained of liberty. That's if somebody's in jail or you got somebody restrained of liberty. Either one you can use. You can apply for a writ of habeas corpus. Either one, whether you're in prison, somebody's locked up unlawfully, or restrained of their liberty in some type of way, and exhibiting a copy of the commitment. I guess that's the court order, or whatever it is that they're using to do that. I'll say if there be any, or showing why such copy could not be procured or obtained. Same thing. Let's see. There's something I'm gonna show y'all. Just kind of show y'all this habeas corpus. Just gonna go to Texas, just to kind of just jump back on it real quick. All of them say the same thing pretty much. Not that. See. So remedy used when any person is restrained in his liberty. See? Don't start that shit. Restrained in his liberty. If a person, when any person is restrained in his liberty, I see that in every state I look in, it says that. You know, some of them go in deeper details. Delaware is the only one that I said that I have found, and I haven't looked in all 50. I only looked in a small handful, maybe 5 or 6 states. So probably not even that many, maybe 4 or 5, maybe five of them. And so I'm not looking in all 50 states. I just may make it around to it at some point, but I'm not doing that right now. But everybody that I saw, all of them that I saw had that written right there. So if your liberty is being restrained in any kind of way, you should be applying for a writ of habeas corpus. Because keep in mind, they create body attachments. They create body attachments in civil cases all the damn time. Okay? And unless there's an injured party, you should not be attached to something like that. Matter of fact, they said that they do that all the time. As a matter of fact, they say they'll do it even without your consent. Let me go back to where I found it at. Let me see if I can find that all over again. Let me see. I think I clicked on this. Yeah, natural person. Here it is. A natural person is a living human being. Legal systems can attach rights and duties to natural persons without their express consent. See, so it does happen in court all the damn time. They will create a body attachment to your straw man, to your legal person. And when they do those things, you have the right to apply, and it's restraining your liberty. It's done. They're doing it unlawfully because it's not. They just fail to do what's right. Then you have the right to apply for a writ of habeas corpus. Okay, let's see. Commanding him to produce let's see. Restraining his liberty. Say in an order issued by the court or a judge of competent jurisdiction directed to anyone having a person in his custody or under his restraint. That's somebody in jail that's in custody. You know how they say we have the suspect in custody? That's somebody that's locked up. Okay, person in custody or in his restraint. Okay, commanding him to produce such person at a place and time named in the writ and show why he is held in custody or under restraint. So why are you under restraint? Why are you doing this to this man? Okay, why are you doing this to this woman? Why you got these people kids and won't give them back CPS? What lawful reason do you have? They don't have a lawful reason. They don't have any evidence proving why they have this going on. Then they have to unask the kids. That's all it is to it. But you have to utilize this habeas corpus, the writ of habeas corpus. When you're doing a petition, it's like you're asking for them to do so. You're asking them to look over the evidence. You know, it's like a request. You know, a demand, or however you want to see it. It's more so like you're presenting your evidence to go along with your petition. Your petition, as I said it earlier, as I pointed out to y'all earlier, it has to be under oath. Matter of fact, here it is. I showed y'all that in Delaware, and here we are in what's this? What state is this? Is this Texas? Is this Texas? Let me back up. Yeah, this Texas. Okay. Construction. Every provision relating to a writ of habeas corpus shall be most favorably construed under picture. Let's see. Granted. want a form, whom is directed, filing. Let's see, conviction. Okay, I ain't gonna go off into that. But anyway, I think I've said enough in this video. I just want to kind of show y'all the difference between a petitioner and a respondent versus a plaintiff and a defendant. Plaintiff and a defendant is the straw man or the entity, your legal person, and a petitioner and a respondent are living men and women. So that's why I made this video. I thought I'd point that out to y'all so y'all can see it for yourself. All right, y'all, I'm gonna get on out of here. If you haven't liked and subscribed already, make sure you go ahead and handle that for right now. Help me out so I can get these videos spreading. I'm trying to get out there. Y'all see I'm pushing videos kind of regular now, so I'm trying to stay like this and keep it going. So help a brother out. We'll talk to y'all. See y'all in the next video. M. Rose signing out.